What's up, everybody? Derek Anderson, the DA, and once again, we're back to that new school Hollywood racism, talking about diversity, how important it is to focus on your skin color, and that's the most important thing in the whole wide world. Lord of the Rings star Sir Lenny Henry applauds Amazon's move away from Tolkien's fair-skinned characters to a diverse cast. So, of course, this is on Deadline. Man, it's like you can't get away from it because And the reason that you can't get away from it with this particular series, the Rings of Power, is because that's exactly what this is all about. Rings of Power is about diversity for diversity's sake. I don't think this thing has anything to do with any of the ideals that J.R.R. Tolkien wrote in his original works. I don't think it has anything whatsoever to do with that. That's the reason why they just keep talking about this. That's what these actors are saying, that the most important thing about me is not my acting ability, right? Not my ability to act. You know, it's the most important thing is not even this story or the character that I play or anything. The most important thing is that I have skin color, okay? The most important thing about this to me is my skin color. What color my skin is, that's the most important thing. Let's go ahead and check out this silly article. It's a short one, so it won't take very long. Veteran British comedian turned actor Sir Lenny Henry applauds the decision by producers of the Lord of the Rings series to create a racially diverse cast. Henry plays Sadok Burrows, a Harfoot proto-hobbit, whatever the hell they think a proto-hobbit is, in Amazon's big budget show, which launches this Friday, which has diverted from both Tolkien's original books and the Hollywood films with their mainly fair-skinned characters. Now, I'm glad they said this. It has diverted from both Tolkien's original books and the films, but mainly Tolkien, right? You know, and they've been saying, oh, no, we're being faithful to Tolkien. We're doing it the Tolkien way. We're being very, very faithful. At least they're finally admitting that, yeah, nah, this ain't gonna be Tolkien at all. And they've kind of been letting that slip out. But now we just saying it straight off the bat. It's not gonna be Tolkien. All right, cool. You know, and at least they're being honest about it, because now that gives you as the viewer an option. You know, okay, this ain't gonna be Tolkien. They're completely diverting away from it. Got it. That has to do with it being the 21st century. People want to see themselves. You know, when you say people want to see themselves in a story or whatever, no, maybe I'm just speaking for myself, and I think I'm not, but what I want to see in an adaptation is I want to get inside the creator's vision. You know what I mean? Like, I want to get inside his head. I want to see what was going on in the creator's head, J.R.R. Tolkien in this case, because that's basically what an adaptation is, right? You're taking whatever he put down on paper, what was in his mind, what he put down on paper, and what he wrote, and you're just changing it over to a new format, okay? In this case, live action, right? That's what you're doing. You want to see his imagination come to life. That's what the whole point of an adaptation is. So to say people want to see themselves, no, people that are watching this show, they want to see what was in J.R.R. Tolkien's head. I don't care about you seeing yourself. I don't care about what other people want to see. I am a fan of Lord of the Rings. I want to see what J.R.R. Tolkien's visions, what was in his head, what did that look like? If we could take all of those imaginations and his thoughts and his everything that was going on when he was penning this thing out, if we could take that and put that on film, that's what we want to see, okay? And if it so happens to have black people in it, fine, but that's what people want to see, not themselves. Of course, if you go back, there's going to be that thing that prevails because the books don't say, although some of the characters are described as hard-skinned or darker in complexion, but that was then, this is now, and we're telling the story now. And it makes you wonder, like, okay, you know, like who are you making this for? Who is this story for? Okay? Because you're not interested in Tolkien, clearly, okay? You're not interested in telling a Tolkien story, right? You're interested in, no, we're telling the story. This is our story. We're telling the story now, okay? We're telling the story in the 21st century, so we got to tell it this way. We're not concerned with what Tolkien might have said. No, this is what it should be. No, we're telling the story. Who are you telling this story to? Is it Lord of the Rings fans? Are you trying to tell a good story so that Lord of the Rings fans can see their beloved works, their beloved fandom come to life on a television show? Is that what you're trying to do? You know, when you say people want to see themselves, like, are you thinking that, you know, more black faces equals more black interest in Lord of the Rings? Because black people really don't watch Lord of the Rings like that. So are they thinking, well, if we throw some more black people in this Lord of the Rings, that'll make people watch it? You know, that's not going to happen. Like, who is this show made for? That's what I want to know. Because if you think that somehow putting more black folks in a story is just gonna, oh, you know, people want to see themselves, so, you know, I'll flock to this now that black people are in. Finally, black people are in it. Let me go watch Lord of the Rings now. No, that's not gonna happen. That's the most unrealistic thing in the world. Like, people were either gonna watch this or not watch this just based on what the thing was about. They don't care if it's black people in it. It could have been all black people in it. They could have turned it on. It's like, oh, look, there's some black people. Oh, wait. Ah, man, it's just some fantasy. And click, click, click. What else is on? You know? Nobody's rushing to their Amazon Prime, typing in their code, going to search for Rings of Power unless they're interested in Lord of the Rings as a whole, period. This whole, like, diversity, we must see ourselves, people want to see themselves, it's just a Hollywood creation. That's just something that's going on in the minds of these Hollywood weirdos. And this is how you know. Right? So the next thing it says here, you know, after decades of campaigning for greater diversity in the entertainment industry, where he was one of the few black faces on British television throughout the 1970s and 80s, Henry is relieved that other stars like Idris Elba and blah, 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 blah have joined him in speaking out. I didn't see anyone in charge of anything that looked like me for a very long time, so that is lonely. That's what this is about, okay? That's why all of these Hollywood cats are so focused and fixated on racial diversity, skin color diversity. I'm just gonna call it that because that's what it is. That's why they're so focused on skin color diversity in their films, okay? It has nothing to do with the actors themselves. It has nothing to do with the audience. They don't have the audience in mind at all. It's like, in your effort to, you know, appeal to all of your little buddies in Hollywood, you will bastardize a great work of fiction and you won't give a damn about the fans whatsoever. You just truck the fandom right on out the door because we got the rights to it, because it's ours now, right? We paid for it, so we gonna do what we want to do with it. We don't care what the fandom thinks. That's what they're doing. And it really, like, undermines, like, the entire idea of joining together and uniting and everything. They want race to be at the forefront of everything. They keep pushing it out there, right? They're about making people, you know, giving certain privileges to certain people based on their skin color. And I thought we were supposed to be getting away from that stuff. You know, we didn't see anybody in charge of us. So now what we got to do is boost up all of these other people, whether they deserve it, whether they don't deserve it. That's immaterial. We got to make sure that they get up and boost up and get to the top, because I never saw anybody that was in charge of anything that looked like me. So now it's time to put people that look like me in charge, irregardless of what actually is going on with these people and anything. We just got to put these people in charge, and, you know, there we go. We've accomplished, we did something, right? This is all stuck in this particular industry. These are problems that these people have, and they're visiting this upon the audience, because now they're just going to say, hey, audience, we don't really care what you think. We're going to do what we want to do. We bought the rights, and we're going to use this as a platform to promote all of our ideas and all of our thoughts and everything else up under the sun. And it's just a bad look for Hollywood overall, but it's really just a bad situation for fandoms, for entertainment. It's just getting worse and worse all the time. But anyway, folks, go ahead, leave me your thoughts, leave me your opinions in the comment section below, and I want to thank you for watching. See you next time.